That's, I can't even tell what's going on there. Can we fix this? Much better. What are we talking about today? Star Trek again, really? Oh boy.
Don't give me the Star Trek crap. It's too early in the morning.
Yeah, what he said. Hello everyone, I am Mecha42, the one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube consumer advocate, Harpy, and we are talking about the new Star Trek 4chan leaks that appear to be designed just to discredit anybody who talked about the previous ones, which makes me believe that the previous ones were even that much more credible. I mean, let's just face it. Whenever we have the most ridiculous, insane, outrageous stuff, there's usually going to be something in there that's going to try and discredit, disprove somebody. Now, I didn't find anything, but I really didn't look that hard either, because usually there'll be like a "this is bait" sort of thing that you can circle the first letter of each word or something like that, or every line, every sentence. Which Star Trek leaks are we talking about today? Rumors. Oh, obviously, grain of salt. Rumor. I gotta say it a million times. Also,
please like the video if you liked it. If you didn't like it, keep your comments to yourself.
Hey, Bree, that is no way to talk to my viewers like that. You know what? They can dislike my content all they want. I'm not gonna throw a temper tantrum about it like Oscar-winning actresses. This is more 4chan leaks, and this is wonderful. So, Angry Mr. Flibble has tweeted this one out, and definitely check out his channel. He's done some great stuff. He says, God knows if there's any truth to these 4chan rumors, but these ideas for new Star Trek shows are so bad they make me want to throw up. Well, we'll get into this. We'll read this in a second, and I'm calling bait on some of these because there's just so many implausible ones. Let's take a look at them, shall we? Ooh, we'll do a full screen. Why not? We'll go full screen on it. So then you guys can read along at home. Okay, that sounds fun. Here we go. The Star Trek Chaos internally leak. And this is anonymous. This is a 4chan. So grain of salt. Looks like the last leaks were corroborated by many news outlets. So that should give you a pretty clear picture of how dead Star Trek is at CBS right now. Here's some more info to flesh out the state of Trek in the last few years. These shows that have been announced, oh, and I love that, they have announced in quotes, are not only the ones CBS was working on, some are even worse than actually got announced. Worst of all was Star Trek Revolution. This was pitched as Star Trek's take on a superhero genre, with a Starfleet officer who was infused with a symbiotic being and gains powers like the ability to survive in space. She was LGBT and would leave the crew of misfits and exposing a conspiracy in the Federation. The Q would have been involved. Delancey was approached. This concept was alive and being developed as late as June this year. All right. Stop the presses here. 1 second. How are they filming anything right now with people having to be distant from each other? How are they actually going to film it? Who's putting up money for any of this? I mean, we already know that they have to sell t-shirts to try and drum up some sort of, international funding distribution? Is that what the case is with their little t-shirt scheme? I already did a video on that one. I'll link that video up here in the little pin section. It was promised more safety, less physical challenges than in Batwoman. All right. You know, I stop the presses. Ruby Rose in Star Trek? Are you kidding me? She wasn't LGBT enough to play Batwoman for the Twitterati, for those people. You know, the people who read and scream and throw temper tantrums all over Twitter. You know those people.
What do you want? When do you want it?
So I don't see Ruby Rose coming anywhere near Star Trek anytime soon. or anything where she's the representation character. She might have learned from that. Also, seriously, what are you filming? When are you going to film this? How are they going to pull this off? How are you going to explain somebody that has superpowers and yet another crew of misfit lawless teens in space? We already have 17 shows that are all lawless teens in space, and your teenage demographic doesn't care. They care about caring, they care about looking like they care, but they don't actually care about this show, and we know it. And it's not like we don't know that. If you dislike fake actors in classic roles, you would hate Starfleet Academy. This was alive in 2018 and being developed as the Academy days of young Kirk with new actors. This is also where recent rumors about Kirk being bi are likely coming from. He was definitely so in this pitch. The Star Trek Destiny rumors that came out after its trademark got leaked were that it was the Picard show. That is not true. This was a storyline that became STD Season 3. It was set in 3293 and was centered around a diverse cast who were fighting against an evil version of the Federation. Some of the characters, like Book in STD Season 3, were adapted and reused. The Section 31 show was just an excuse for present-day Trek shows. Yeah, I remember hearing about the Starfleet Academy show, thinking that that was what Lower Decks was going to turn into. And we kept saying, oh, well, if they're going to do a show in Starfleet Academy days, you could have Boothby come back, you could have all kinds of excuses for having the younger demographic. Of course, now, I don't really remember this being that much more than just something that me and the guys from Midnight Judge were talking about. I can't quite remember if that was something we heard about or just something we pitched and we're talking about. So this is why I'm thinking that these might be a little bit closer to just bait. Especially with the whole Ruby Rose stuff. Because what do we talk about? What gets a lot of views? Batwoman. Batwoman gets a lot of views. Yeah, because Batwoman is one of those cringe things. It would be just the same as if they decided to bait us with, Brie Larson or something.
I just see people.
She's another one, Batwoman, Brie Larson, all of those people. They are memes at this point. They are talking points. They are bits of amusement. This is like we keep getting the same, Brie Larson's going to be Ahsoka in Star Wars, or Brie Larson's going to be Mara Jade in Star Wars. These are things just designed to get people to make videos on, just so they're going to be upset. And you know what? You can't hurt me anymore with Star Trek. You really, really can't. All I'm doing right now is laughing about how ridiculous these people are. How ridiculous these people who came in, just like their hero, Christopher Columbus. They came into this fandom, decided to take something that we were already set up in and something that we already really, really loved. And they admire Christopher Columbus so much that they went in and decided to do what he did and take that from us. And then they decided to gatekeep us all out. Just shove us all out that gate and lock us behind there just by calling us every name in the book for coming into the fandom that we already were a part of, or trying to be critical of it, trying to say, hey, wait a minute, Star Trek was always something that was moderately this way or that way. Star Trek was always very diverse and inclusive. Star Trek was always inspirational. And now these people who love Christopher Columbus so much they had to come in and do exactly what he did to our fandom decided to gatekeep us all out, haven't they? So I like to point that out, and I like to point out all the tactics that these people use. And this is just another one, I think. This is just another one of these bait tactics. And, I will have a laugh at it. I'll make a video on it because, what else am I going to make a video on? Aliens or something? I probably would. Back to the leaks. Oh, these are great. These are fun. Now, I did a video on this with the Captain Kirk possibly being bisexual thing. The rumor was that they were supposedly having a Skype call a few months ago between this new actor who is the son of, I want to say, one of the producers on the show, and they had a Skype call that was auditioning him against Ethan Peck. Like, they were playing off each other. So, if they bring in a young Captain Kirk at all, it's either going to be in this alleged Pike series that we keep hearing might be a thing, even though I think they're using us to try and drum up some interest in funding, or Or they are going to actually go ahead and do this Academy where we're talking about, and again, you're going into the past, you're retreading the same old stuff that we already have an aesthetic for, we already have canon for, just so what? You can prove you're not a bunch of ists by redoing something that you have no interest in any way. That's all this really feels like. They just want to go in and redo it and have what? A new progressive outlook on something that was already progressive in the first place? That's what it feels like to me. There's more rumors and leaks. Here we go. The Star Trek Destiny rumors that came out after his trademark got leaked were that it was the Picard show. That one I did end up hearing about because they did do the trademark right around the time that they named it Picard. Now, I did a video on this too. Sonequa Martin Green actually leaked that it was called Star Trek Picard. They didn't have a name for it officially. They didn't, and we kept making videos. Oh, is it Star Trek Destiny? Well, that would be kind of stupid because we already have the Destiny ship that's in Stargate. It's the ship in Stargate universe. Why wouldn't you call it Picard after your hero, basically? So, no, I remember them trademarking the name Destiny. And now, funny thing with the Star Trek Destiny that has become season 3 of Discovery as well. This leads a lot more weight to the original reports that I know Midnight's Edge has done reports on this, that before, in the beginning, when they were first developing this new Star Trek series, it was going to be an anthology series where each season was going to be a new cast, a new crew, new people coming around, and it was going to be like American Horror Story or something where you were going to have a new season, a new story per season. And if that was the case with this, I can definitely see this. Oh, they're in the future now, and they have all this stuff that they have to overcome with the Evil Federation. I can definitely see that being the case, that they were going to recast. Just look at Discovery. I'm going to go off on a little tangent here, so bear with me. We'll get back to the leaks in a minute. With Discovery, the first episode was its own pilot. Episode 3, now we're on the actual ship that the show is named after. That was another pilot. Then they jumped into the Mirror Universe, yet another pilot. Now all of a sudden, for season 2, here's yet another pilot where we're bringing in a new captain. So the fact that we keep jumping around, they're so disjointed, discombobulated. I really think that they probably were planning this as an anthology, and they're just reworked it all for season 3 of Discovery, and whatever else they have laying around, they're going to work in for season 2 of Picard. Oh, it's going to be terrible, isn't it? The Section 31 show was just an excuse for present-day Trek. Yo would have come back in time to the present day to stop Khan from rising to power. It's dead. Kurtzman and CBS executives had to stop approaching legacy actors from old Trek shows because so many of them were ignoring their offers and signed up for the Orville instead. Oh, well, I'll hail the Orville, the better show with the better ship that you can actually see and a crew that are competent and like each other and want to work together and do the right thing and not at each other's throats and not bickering and not talking down to each other and all of the garbage that is in modern day Star Trek. So yeah, when we see these rumors and leaks, all of this stuff, here I'll pull up the original thread here for you guys. Some of this does have a few grains of salt that you want to take. But then again, there's some of these things that do, like any lie, you're going to have a little bit of truth in there to make it more palatable, right? More believable. And there's a lot of stuff that's really, really believable in here. I don't believe that the Section 31 show is going to go back in time and she was going to kill Khan. That seems a little far-fetched, but you never know with these modern-day new Trek people what they're going for, what they were doing. Do I think Ruby Rose was approached? Probably not. There's no way in crap she's going to do a Star Trek show. She wants to do the next John Wick movie or something. She'll be in those sort. Didn't she die off in the second one? I think she did. But she's in those type of movies. She's a movie star. She's an action movie star. She's a side character that has a quirky look and is interesting enough to see on screen. She's not a TV series star material because as much as I like her look, and I don't dislike her personally, she's not the best actress out there, and they can find better talent. They can't really film anything right now anyway, and I think these are just set out to discredit us, just so that they can say, oh, you ran with this, and this is fake. And if I tell you it's fake, then what? Oh, you look like a fool because you only clicked on the thumbnail. That's modern day Trek fans for you. At least the ones who make excuses and go around attacking other channels for a difference of opinion or viewpoint, or even a presumed difference of opinion or viewpoint. I have rambled on about these leaks long enough. Oh, this is fun. I am MechaRandom42, and I'll see you guys on the next video, live stream, or wherever. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.